Hello? Okay. This is the Paper Soprano podcast. Hello, how are ya? What the heck are you doing? Um, my name is Heidi Schneider, okay? And this is the pod. You are here. And the reason why I feel like I'm a little bit irritated right now is because I am, and here's why. I've come across my first major um technological goof. LOL, love that for me. And I had just literally moments ago gotten a little notification on my computer that said like storage is full. Oh my god, blah blah blah. And so I had to like delete a bunch of things and I had to open up another window and I accidentally X'd out of it. And of course, this isn't as high tech as Google Drive. There's no autosaves, there's no nothing. So I just deleted the entire podcast that I had just recorded. Yay! So now, of course, I have no idea what I said. We just come on here and we chat, okay? That's the whole point of this podcast. It's just, we're just riffing out here. This is all we're doing. You can't be it can't be duplicated. It can't be recreated. I don't write anything down. I'm not reading a dang script, okay? So, yeah, just deleted that whole thing and feeling pretty great about it, you guys. But I knew that was gonna come at least. Oh my god. Oh, and I'm just realizing. And I'm just realizing if the audio sounds different now, it's because I didn't have my microphone plugged in. Wow, amazing. So, and this is just goes to show. Okay, this is just part of life, okay? My phone's going off. You can hear things in the background. Jesus Christ. I'm like about to lose it. But this is not a professional podcast, okay? It's all about just chatting it up. I'm living my life. We are all living our collective lives. And these kinds of things happen all the time. In the podcast recently that I just deleted like 5 minutes ago, I was just talking about how difficult it is to record and do things virtually on all of the things that we have had to do as singers and musicians during this time, and having to just completely revamp the way that we do things and the way that we are auditioning for things and the way that I recorded my recital this year. Like, it has just been completely different. So now, that whole thing is happening to me in this moment, and we're here and we're living it together. So if this podcast seems a little bit strange, it's because it is. And there are a lot of strange things that I'm learning right now. And actually, I'm looking at my computer right now and just realizing that there's a little thing at the bottom that says disk space remaining for recording, and it shows me how much time is left. You learn something new every day, you guys. Yes. So now I know going forward, and I'm just glad that didn't happen during a podcast with a guest. You know what I mean? So if there was somebody here who I was talking to and we just had to completely stop and not do something, or had to completely start over with a different conversation, that would be really like a huge bummer. So I'm glad that didn't happen, because we do have a guest tomorrow. If you are going to listen in tomorrow to the pod, we do have a wonderful, illustrious guest coming on. And I won't disclose that yet, but we're very happy to have him, and I'm super excited. So, what was I even talking about before all of this? The main thing I wanted to tell you guys about is, if you are interested in early music and you are free this Saturday, there is a program of which I just joined, and it's a one-time thing, so I didn't join, I just applied for this one. But basically, it's an early music seminar, a one-time thing, and it is through Amherst Early Music, if you know the company, and if you're interested in learning and talking about Handel's early operas, my good friend and colleague Dylan Sauerwald is doing a class on this topic. I believe it's at 3 o'clock on this Saturday, December 12th. If you want more information about that, let me know and I will hook you up with the info. It's only $25, which is like really, really affordable. And when I say Dylan is a knowledgeable human being about all of this, like, I mean it so much. He's extremely informed, a wonderful performer himself. He plays beautiful harpsichord, just extremely experienced, and is great at talking. So it's like he's the full package, and I'm personally really excited to check it out and to have that as something on my agenda for Saturday. Also on Saturday, I am going to be recording for church because we're back online, baby. We are back to recording every week and not being in person because COVID is running rampant, and please wear a mask and please social distance as much as you can. Just stay home, and yeah, it's getting really bad. So that's why we're recording online, although I am very grateful, and I was talking about this in my last one before it got deleted. I was talking about how I am very grateful that I do have the opportunity to sing in person for my church. It's been really, really incredible and a very satisfying outlet, as opposed to like singing with a karaoke track and singing, for which I have done. Don't get me wrong, girl. Singing with a track, or singing karaoke style, or singing just in your living room or in your closet or in your bedroom, trying to get the best acoustic sound. So I am very grateful for that because, for me, and obviously for everyone, music is created in time, right? That's the medium. So when we sing like with karaoke tracks, or even just singing along with a recording, or singing to a click track with a metronome, there's a level of predictability that comes from that, and it just is like the antithesis of music to me, where it is so frustrating to have to sing to a karaoke track or something like that. So, we're doing our best right now, and a lot of people out there, all my singer friends, and I don't know, potentially also orchestral friends or people who want to do auditions right now. I'm not really privy to all that information, so do not come for me. But we're all doing auditions and stuff virtually, which is super frustrating. And as much as we all hate auditions and it's very scary, I think we would all agree that we would prefer to do live auditions than doing these recordings any day of the week, So I have a lot of sympathy for people and for my friends and everybody who's going through this. And yeah, we're just keeping it on here, keeping on, and sending in these videos, even though sometimes they're subpar and sometimes they're not what we want. You gotta do what you gotta do, And it is scary, specifically for someone like me, to do that, because I am not like well established whatsoever. So when I think about, the first time these companies are going to be seeing me is going to be standing in my living room on a recording on my iPhone, with terrible video and terrible audio and potentially, not ideal circumstances. So it is scary, and I have to really think about how other people are going through the same thing. Although I know there are those, like, you know those people who have like access to a recording studio, and those people who like have all that money and they've got like all these spaces that they can go into, and you know, they've got all the ins, which, you know, survival of the fittest. You do your thing, girl. I'm proud of you. But a lot of us don't have that. So it is frustrating to acknowledge that some of the things that we're creating this year are just not that like high quality. I don't know. And not to say that we're not succeeding when we create these kinds of things, because I think we are. Anything that you create during this time, whether or not you think it's high quality compared to the past, it's a success. You know what I mean? Whether or not it is comparable to the work that you've done in the past, it doesn't matter, because it's not the same circumstances, and I know we all know that, but it is seriously so frustrating to have to just muddle through it, you know? And I am hopeful for the future. I've had this conversation a bunch of times with some friends and some teachers and stuff. I think we're all kind of hoping and praying that when all this is over, the demand for the arts will be unlike no other, and we'll have a big demand and a huge wave of creativity and high quality music, and we'll look back on this time and say, yeah, wow, you know, that really put it into perspective of how much we do need opera, we do need orchestras, we do need jazz, we do need, you know, collaboration, mainly. And Broadway and all of those amazing things that we normally take for granted here in New York. It's like, dang, you know, we've got all of this stuff here, and we've been starving for months and months and months, and like a whole year basically, and we're still not out of the blue. But like, when we are, wouldn't it just be amazing if you know, it just washed over everyone, and people realized that one of the main reasons why people were so upset was because, or not one of them, but like, you know, one of the reasons why people were so sad during this year is because of the lack of art and interactive art, and, you know, those kinds of things hopefully will bring more joy to people after all of this is over than they did before. So that's what I'm hoping for. I don't know about you, but oh man. And like, oh my god, I still cannot get over the fact that I deleted that whole other podcast. You guys, literally, I was sitting here and I recorded the whole thing, and I just deleted it. I deleted it. I clicked it, and then it was gone. And it was like, I literally was like, oh, and it was gone. I clicked it, and it deleted it. I'm such an idiot. Like, I'm literally such a moron. I can't believe it. But it happens, and that's the reality of this stuff, is like, one, I am fumbling in the dark with this technology stuff, and, you know, yes, I was built. Yes, I was born in, you know, close to the new millennium, and like, it doesn't really matter. I took typing classes in elementary school, and I took, you know, garage band in high school, and a couple technology classes in college. But you know what? It doesn't really cover it. It's just like any other job. Like, all of these pieces of technology are unique, and you just don't know what you're going to have to deal with until you're out in the field doing it. And not to say that I'm like, oh, I'm out in the field now, but like, I am out here doing it. And like, it is hard to acknowledge the fact that sometimes you just make mistakes and you fall flat on your face about it. And it's like, yeah, I literally clicked do not save when it prompted me, but I like thought there was another window open. So I was like, yeah, I don't want to save that one. I want to delete the old one so that I can have more space. And then I look around on my screen and I deleted the wrong thing. And I'm like, okay, wow, I'm such an idiot. But you know, I'm learning from this experience, and while I am, yes, an idiot in some regard, I feel like I am gaining some knowledge, and it is so hard to just acknowledge that and say, yeah, I'm learning about it, and I'm learning on the job, baby. You know what I mean? Like, I'm doing it here, and it's frustrating because I just had an entire podcast out and ready. I was literally like saying the little outro. But you know what? We move on. We've got other things to do today. This is small potatoes, friends, and you've got other things to do today. And if you did something today that you were like, I cannot believe I did that, I am so frustrated by that one thing, you just have to look at it and say, okay, whatever. I have to move on from that. And really do try and like say that, and then like do something else immediately. You know what I mean? Like, after this podcast, I'm not going to get upset at the fact that I deleted it anymore. I'm upset in these couple of moments, and I probably should have given myself a little time in between so I didn't start this podcast so angry. But know that there was another one before this where I was very sweet. So but just move on from it. That's what I'm going to do, and I'm probably going to keep it a little short today because I don't remember what other things that I was talking about, and it is so frustrating to know that, I think I remember talking about the plants here, and I was referencing, oh my God, I talked about, okay, here we go. So one final story, and then I think I'm going to carry on with my day. But one of the things that I was talking about in the last podcast that got deleted, it was this Thai food place that I frequent regularly. It's called Ron Thai. I think it's in Smithtown. It's really good. But I was talking about how I had some plans for the rest of the day, but I have been craving this Thai food from this place specifically for like 2 weeks. And I don't have enough time. I don't have enough money to like go there all the time, even though I would if I could. But when you get that like craving and you're like, oh my God, I really want this one very specific thing. Today I was like, I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I wanted to share with you the reason why it's my favorite place is because, yes, it's like a little hole in the wall place, like a very, small kind of mom and pop shop kind of feel, which I love. And also it has been the only place in my whole entire existence that has been able to fulfill my need for extreme spiciness. And what I mean by that is, like, if you like spicy food, like, I'm not talking about, oh, I love sriracha, like, I love Cholula, oh, it's so good, yeah, I love spicy food. No. That is no. Not spicy even a little bit, okay? Like, I'm talking about, like, chili oil, like, authentic, unpredictable chili oil that you just throw on there and you regret it the next day and you like it, like, you're okay with the repercussions. So, because the moment is so good, because the food is good there, they've got good flavors, they've got good everything, it's where it's at. So, but I didn't always have this opinion of this place. I had to really create like a relationship with the people who work there, because they didn't trust me in the beginning. They didn't think that I was legit. I was like, no, like the last couple, whatever, yeah, it was okay, it was good, but it wasn't spicy enough, I really want it to be like super Thai spicy, like annihilate me with the spice, okay? And they would be like, ha ha ha, yeah, okay, you small white girl, sure. And, they would give me whatever. But I'm like, I would come back, and time again, I would be like, it was okay. It could have been spicier by a lot. And only one time have they really gotten me good. And it was like pretty recently, I would say, but I have never eaten anything spicier than this. Like, it was just unbelievable heat and like pain, and the chili oil is so good, and like the noodles are good, the vegetables are good, sometimes they get tofu in there, it's all excellent. And honestly, the best part is the spices. Like, the best part is that chili oil. So yeah, if you are ever like going to a restaurant and you like you're wanting something very specific, you just have to like make friends with the people who work there, because they want you to like enjoy yourself and they want you to come back, obviously. So me and the people at Rontai, we're tight. Me and that one guy who I see all the time. But yeah, they got good Thai food, and that was one thing that I was gonna do today. I was gonna go get Thai food because I haven't had it in many weeks. And what else? I was gonna go get some Christmas presents, and I was going to get some extra containers, some extra pots for my new plant babies. And if you haven't listened to that podcast and you are interested in what kind of plants I got, there's a couple days ago I posted a podcast about my new plants, and they're all doing pretty well. A little update for you, they're doing pretty well, and some of them are doing better than others, but one that is doing particularly not so great, and I didn't have high hopes for her in the beginning, so we kind of saw this coming, but it's the bamboo plant. And I didn't expect it to be so finicky, but I've put it in like a couple different places, and I think it might just be the pot. I might just need to put her in a different pot. She's in a really small, like almost like a Dixie cup sized pot, and the plant itself is like almost a foot tall. So I think I'm going to transfer her today, give her some space, and like, you know, rinse off the roots and all that stuff. And yeah, it's going to be a good day. And we are just going to move right on from the fact that we totally deleted that other podcast. Because it really doesn't matter. There are no stakes. This is just me hanging out and having a chat, okay? Like, I am the biggest critic of this podcast, and I declare that this is not a big deal. So that's that. We're going to work on our paper today. I did a lot of cleaning today. We are in the middle of doing some laundry right now. We are crushing it. And it's going to be a good one, you guys. Whenever you listen to this, I hope that the rest of your day goes well. And once again, if you ever want to be a guest on the podcast, please let me know. I'm super excited for the guests that we have lined up. And we actually have one lined up tomorrow. And I'm very excited about that. Can't wait to have a chat. And if you do like this podcast, regardless of my very changing moods throughout the duration of this one specifically, do like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Subscribe to my YouTube channel if you're listening on YouTube, and let me know what you think. If you have any comments on what I've talked about this episode, if you want to know more about that Amherst Early Music workshop on Saturday, let me know. I'm gonna hook you up, you know it. And thank you so much for listening. I really do appreciate it. So I hope that you enjoy. This has been the Paper Soprano Podcast. My name is Heidi Schneider, and I really appreciate you listening today. Go out and live your life, people. Do your best. Thanks for listening. Bye.